Hello, and we are back this evening, guys, with our post-match reaction podcast to what was just a dreadful, awful morning, afternoon, lunchtime in Dingwall today for Rangers, going down 3-2 to Ross County. And you know what? Since that result, I think I spent most of my time this afternoon, apart from when I picked my daughter up from dance, deleting comments off the channel from separate entity fans from that lot across the city. God, the obsession is real. The obsession is genuine. They just are just ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. But you know what? They're laughing at us, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them for laughing at us. I'd be laughing at them if it was the other way round, if you get kind of what I'm saying here. Glenn says, absolute fucking disgraceful performance from every one of these bottle job players. Title is done. Big clear out needed. The board better back Clement. Sharpie Staunch says, if it's a big ask with these players, but win every game, win the title. It's a big one there. Big ass Sharpie, especially with the Get Fit to Parkhead upcoming. Tav, with the well-worn learn from it quote for the 100th time in his interview. You could just play the same interview 100 times, couldn't you, like you said, and you would just get the same thing every single time. We didn't, yes, absolutely. A lot of Celtic fans obsessed this evening. 100%. Today was pathetic, says Smoke. Absolutely, 100%. Okay, so Aldo says here, usual bottle jobs. I'm fed up. Been calling out defence for a long time now. Drove me to drink again, says Smoke. Evening, Son. We've got congratulations to Bayer Leverkusen. Absolutely, congratulations to Bayer Leverkusen. Absolutely fantastic result. They won the Bundesliga today, beating Bayern Munich. Isn't that just Harry Kane-esque, isn't it? You know, Harry Kane, man who's never won a trophy in his life, goes to a team that wins trophies every season, and they're not going to win a trophy this season. So quite comical, really. We don't have the cash, sadly, for the rebuild. Probably true, buddy. Probably true. Liverpool, Arsenal had a bad day too. They did. Liverpool losing to Palace and Arsenal losing at home to Villa. Another summer, another rebuild, says Trey. Same players who cost Gio and Beale their jobs. Let's hope Big Phil ships them out soon. They know who they are. Don't give Lundstrom another contract. Interesting point there from Aldo. We will mention that. We've done the same thing we did a few weeks ago. Got by the harder games, kinda. A few weeks ago, it was Hearts, Kilmarnock, and Motherwell. Now it's Hibs, Celtic, then Ross County. That's mentality, Leverkusen. I wish we had. Absolutely, 100% agree with you, Aldo. They've got a cracking mentality. They've got a cracking manager, and they've got a cracking way of playing football, haven't you? They've got to be favourites for the Europa League as well, really. You know, look, I'm not going to try and dress this up this evening. I'm not going to try and, accentuate the positive, because I'll be honest with you, I don't think there is a positive from today's game. I genuinely don't think there is a positive from today's game. It was just genuinely dreadful from the first minute to the last minute. And what gets me, really does get me to me, is the fact that, you know what, they didn't seem to do anything today. They just didn't seem to be bothered. They didn't seem to care. They didn't seem to want to care. They didn't seem to try. It was just pathetic. It was pathetic. And and then when you hear, Philippe Clement say, after the game, this is a quote from Philippe Clement today. This is in his post-match interview. He says, "I warned them at half time it was not good enough. I wanted to see a clean sheet and a better start. Then you lose 2 goals. There were too many mistakes. We conceded some strange goals. We didn't score enough with the chances we created." Well, what I don't understand there is they were warned at half-time that it needed to improve. They were told what the risk was, and they went out and did it anyway. They went out and played crap again. They went out and didn't perform. They went out and just didn't give a shit. They went out and let Ross County score straight away. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't get how you can be that shit. I just don't get it. What have we got here? Smoke says, I have a positive. We could have been 4-0 up at half time. The counter keeper was exceptional in the first half. I mean, Laidlaw was absolutely brilliant, but I'll be honest with you, Smoke, would we have deserved a 4-0 lead at half time? We didn't play well at all in that first half. We'll talk about some of the talking points from the game shortly. Septic are going to make a bundle off ripping this summer. Absolutely, 100%. Not buying a striker in January will come back to bite us. Dessa's rotten. I've got to agree with you, Aldo. The fact that we didn't go out and buy a striker in January is going to come back to haunt us. I put a tweet out on X earlier. Guys, if you don't follow our X account, there it is. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. It's at Rangers Nation 08. I said earlier, if those two chances that Dessers misses fall to Shankland or Miovski, they score both of them. I just guarantee it. You know what? I just can see them scoring both of them. Dessers, the two chances, it's not good enough. It just is not good enough. I mean, you look at it this way. Look at this way, guys. The two chances he gets. The first one, the keeper does pull off a great save, but he shouldn't give the keeper a chance to pull that save off. The second one is just a really bad miss. Great. I mean, look, I usually slag Borna off. Lovely ball in by Borna. Pulled back. Dessers needs to take a touch, then hit. But when he hits, he needs to get his body over it, his head over it, and drill it along the ground. Instead, he puts it into the car park. Typical serial Dessers. Dessers, again, look, Dessers is not the only one to blame for today. The defence were rotten. The midfield were rotten. I think Seaman was okay. I think, who's the one I said was okay? Butland was okay. But other than that, they were all fairly dreadful. Defence is pish, up front pish, bad combination. Get rid of Tav, Golden, and Lundstrom. We didn't concede strange goals. It was the same goals. Very true. Septic are going to make a bundle off Frimpong this summer. They are. Doesn't matter. We weren't. Doesn't matter. We weren't 4-0 up. Hi, all Cabby. How you doing, Cabby? How you doing, buddy? Imagine being Butland, having that defence in front of you. Yeah, I mean, it must be soul destroying, Kevin, mustn't it, for him? You know, he pulls off those two fantastic saves, you know, with his feet and then diving across to palm it out, and nobody follows it in. Nobody blocks it. Nobody helps him out. Nobody gets back to stop him. There's a fundamental issue in that defence. I don't care that people say we've got the best defence in Scotland. We haven't got the best defence in Scotland. We've got the best keeper in Scotland. We haven't got the best defence in Scotland. We've got the dodgiest defence in Scotland that just is made to look good by the pish we play every week. The moment we come up against a team that actually attacks us, they fall apart. That's a big one. Yeah, it could have happened, absolutely. I mean, there was too many players who were not fit to wear the shirt. Paul, you are 1,000,000% correct on that. And we'll touch a little bit on those today. Shocking, that's just horrible. We needed a proper striker years ago. Agreed, Zig says. If people are saying no one will buy Dessers in the summer, what does that say? I think there'll be teams willing to buy him, though. How much is a different thing? Well, we aren't going to get our money back, are we, RFC? That's the key thing there. The defence was very poor. Dessers was very poor. We should have beaten Ross County. It was embarrassing, says Stephen. It was 100%. Evening, Ziggs. Hi, Stringfellow Hawk. Love that name, buddy. How many of them would get into Walter Smith's team? Oh, they're a great question. Butland, possibly. Seema, possibly. That's pretty much it. Tav will leave this summer for sure. Well, we can only hope so. I only hope so. Dessers made me laugh when he booted out of the stadium. I had visions of some old boy on the car park getting scudded. I'm going through someone's windscreen. They could send Silver back down the road. Agreed. Same old shit again and again. Defence cost us the league 40 million. Thank you very much, Cabby. Blue Nose, how you doing, buddy? Good evening, Owen, and all the teddy bears in the chat. These players keep failing to deliver. Dessers bossed up in pace. No point, Owen. They have the form when it matters. They have the bottle every time. What really has haunted this mob, like Tav, Golson, and Lundstrom, serial losers. I've got to say, I agree with you 100%. Kyle's 1120. Who is a mod? Kyle's, I don't know how you became a mod, but apparently you're a mod. There we go. Have you changed your username, Kyle's, or were you originally something else? Let me know, please, in the live chat. But yeah, you're right. I personally think that there is a real mental scarring with this team, that is too deep, is far too deep now. The scar tissue is way too deep. It really is. And the problem is that because that scar tissue runs so deep now, that when we come into situations where the pressure really comes on, when it really counts, that's when it falls apart. That's when it all comes apart for me. Dav, yeah, agree with that one. We have not got a defence, in my opinion, says Stephen. Blue Nose says Golden has been ranked for years, but they have to keep playing him because of his wages, 40 grand a week. Yeah, agreed, buddy. Goldson needs dropped. Lundstrom needs rested. Dessers needs bench. Ridvan back, hopefully. Balogun's in. Sterling in midfield. Ruth needs to start. If he gets injured, so be it. Scott, that's a good point, buddy. Look, this is the issue we've got. You know, I think Goldson, since the winter break, has been exceptionally poor. He's been caught out with the same goal time after time after time and time again. Today, he was constantly off the pace. It's like on the reaction video. If you go back and you watch that game, and a lot of the balls over the top by Ross County today, if you look at it, the line of defenders, you've got Tav, you've got a gap, Suter, Barisic. And the gap is because that's the line. Here's Goldson back behind the line over here, okay? He's behind the line constantly, out of position. The line was not solid. A defensive line needs to move as a unit, and our defensive line did not move as a unit at all today. This started with Beale leaving the defence the way it was. Absolutely, we should have done something with the defence. All right, Carls, what was your original one, buddy? Going to need to change my name and all. Owen, the only thing that got me cheer me up tonight is watching AF TV rants with them blowing it as well, says Paul. All right, okay, yeah, cool. Carls, that was cool. No worries, buddy. Just checking. Absolutely. Aldo says Goldson stayed because no one's stupid enough to buy him. He's dross. High paid player too. Shocking. Tav too. What do the Tav Goldson fan club say now, says Stephen. Good question. Conspiracy theory. The players like Goldson, Tav and Lundstrom don't want the club to get UCL money, so they don't get replaced. Interesting conspiracy theory there, James. Not sure how true that one is. They need to rip up any new contract off to Lundstrom. Blue Nose, I think that's spot on. You know, look, I'm getting warm now, guys. Look, if only fans there. Look, guys, it is a situation that we're in. Lundstrom, for a long time, was playing very well indeed. He really was. But he's gone backwards massively. He didn't turn up against them. He didn't really play against them. He was poor against them. He was poor again today. He just was not running. He was not tracking back. He didn't seem to do anything. I mean, I think the second goal, if he tracks back on that second goal, they don't score. I don't get it. I don't understand. He does seem to blow hot and cold. You know, the reports of him asking for 30 grand a week in a 3-year contract, if they're true, then he needs to get the hell out of town because he doesn't deserve that in the slightest. We have blew the league. Goldson was very poor today, and there was no excuse for that. Stephen, he's been poor since the winter break, buddy. Matondo on too early. Lost wee boy with one trick, and Ross County had him sussed. Smoke, I would have actually started Matondo today because he was... I mean, if you think about Matondo, right, what would his confidence have been like coming out of that Celtic game on Sunday, coming out of the Hibs game with those 2 goals that he scored? His confidence would be sky high, and Clermont benches him. I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. I would have started him for both those games. Fully agree with you, Owen, regarding scar tissue, mate. It's a shame because whenever we sign new players, the natural thing to do as new signing is to look to the elder statesmen of the team. Scar tissue. There is a lot of scar tissue, Gareth, in this team. And what needs to happen this summer? And you can say we're being reactionary, guys. Of course you can say we're being reactionary. But at the end of the day, there's too many players in this team that have that internal scar tissue, this inferiority complex to them. The moment that they come across and they say, and it's up against them and they turn up the pressure, we wilt, we fall apart. They win yesterday, take the lead to 4 points. I know it's 2 games in hand, but we more automatically fall apart because the scar tissue runs so deep in Tav, in Goldson, in Lundstrom, in Barisic, for example. 100% there, Smoke. Celtic will take over our 55 titles the way things are going. Shocking. That is a big concern. Blue Nose says that was every bit of when talent doesn't work hard enough. Hard work beats talent. It did, absolutely. Hard work did beat talent. I'm going to give Ross County massive credit today. They worked their asses off. They played well today. They dominated the game. They controlled the ball really well. And when they had the ball and they got forward, they used it well. They were better than us. 100% better than us today. And you know, if you brought an alien from outer space today and you sat an alien in front of Sky Sports today and you said, right, one of those teams is going for a title and one of those teams is fighting against relegation, which one is it? I'll tell you something, you'd have picked Ross County as a team going for the title and Rangers fighting against relegation. That was that bad today. It really was. Worst thing about today, it wasn't a surprise. We've been programmed to this dross. We must move on from Tav Goldson at the end of the season. I agree. Bluebells are blue, 100%. Wrong lineup for me, says Daniel Matondo. Is on form just now and should have started in place of Silva. Silva was far too slow, easily contained. Sterling should have started in midfield alongside Lundstrom. Daniel, I want to just talk about that point that you're making there. I think that's a great point. I think that's a brilliant point. What worries me, and it really does concern me, and I read a comment today. I can't remember where it was on. It might have been on Rabbo. It might have been on something else that I read this comment. But I read a comment that said that Dujon Sterling's our best right back, our best left back, our best centre back, and our best right winger, and he was put on the bench by Clement today. I don't get it. I don't understand why Sterling got benched today. You know, in a game where we needed people in there to dig in, to fight, to battle, and to get control of that midfield, and our midfield was overrun time after time after time after time. I don't get why Dujon was not in midfield alongside John Lundstrom. I really do. Dowell started well but faded. I just don't get it. If you're going to start with Borna Barisic, and that's a whole different story. I would never have started Borna Barisic, but if you're going to start Borna Barisic, then put Sterling into midfield. At least start Sterling in midfield, because he's probably the best centre midfielder we've got right now. Because to me, Lunny looks tired. Look out of it. Diamande's injured. Dowell is not fit. Tom Lawrence looks awful at the moment. I mean, Tom Lawrence today came on and made absolutely jack all difference again. So, yeah, I agree. Why is Dujon not getting a game? PC needs to make his mind up in the summer. If he keeps the usual suspects, it will cost him his job. Agreed. Tav, a legend of the club. To me, he's not a legend nor a captain. Thank you for your service, Tav, says Aldo. It's a loop. The new players get scarred from the older players. When they're older players, they will pass it down to new players. James, it's called a vicious circle, and you are 1,000,000% right on that. We need a massive change in the summer. First time beating us on this day. Leverkusen was their first title. Arsenal have ball bottle it too. They did. Scott says, only way we win the league is dropping the usual suspects. Unfortunately, Clement rates them just like previous managers. Just can't get my head around it. Also, Dessers can't start again. I've got to say, I've really got to say that I don't understand realistically why they keep getting picked. I asked a question earlier on another podcast. I asked this question: how bad does Connor Goldson have to get before he gets dropped? Because to me, it seems like it doesn't really matter. It does not really matter how bad he gets. I mean, I was talking to my mate Damien Hendry earlier, guys, and Damien texted me about the game. Damien and Keir and I have been talking about the game. Oh, I just want a message for you guys. A message out there. Laura's son, he's not very well at the moment. Kai, get better soon, mate. We're thinking of you. We're all behind you, buddy. Get better soon. Hope you feel well soon. You've got an amazing mother. You're a brilliant mum in Lorah. Get well soon, buddy. Get well soon. Okay, so Scott says, anyway, win that. Yeah, absolutely agree with you. And I don't get why we don't. I mean, this is the point that Damien made, and I think Damien's spot on. Damien said Goldson could turn up in a Celtic top, spit on the Rangers badge, and still not get dropped. I think that's true. He genuinely could. He could do whatever he wanted and still get away with it. I'm fed up of hard up Rangers fans having to watch imposters like Tav and Borna turning up to the stadium in their Lamborghinis. Absolutely, it takes the piss, doesn't it? Clement starting 11 wrong again today. Although you are right, I think he did get it wrong today. I would have started Matondo. Genuinely was poor today, guys. 120 people watching the pod tonight. Please, obviously, smash that like. It would be phenomenal if you could, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, obviously, please sub too. The same will happen when we play Septic. Agreed. This is one worrier. I want to get through some of your comments. And I'm going to want to raise a couple of points with you. Too much rotation. Don't need to do this in the league. We're especially in when we can play with more subs. Yeah, agreed. Borna, Goldson, Tav, Lunny, you need to go. Lawrence is showing he is not as hardy as we thought. Smoke, Lawrence was awful today when he came on. Absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Glass half full. Win every game. The treble is ours. We are the people, says Ian. I wish I could be as confident as you. Agree, Silver is no use to us. Dow looked good last week when Septic were blowing out their arses. Clement not shaking. Can't imagine hand looks bad on him. He did come back out and shake hands, actually, although, so we'll give him credit for that. It will be very interesting to see who starts Wednesday night. I think McCausland should get a start on Wednesday night. Look, I think there should be big changes Wednesday night. Whether there will be changes or not, I do not know. I don't think there will. I think we'll still have Goldson in the team. I think we'll still have Tav in the team. And I think we'll still have Lunny in the team, if I'm being honest. I can't see those changes being made. If Dettis doesn't start, maybe put Seema through the middle, talking about dropping Goldson. What happened to Big Balogun? Balogun's been great this season. Keith, who played well? Rangers played well today. They didn't. They played shit today, buddy. Today's on the manager. Sterling is giving more in 9 months to Rangers than Goldson's done in 5 years. That's the Gareth Robertson. If Roof was fit for at least half an hour today, and he should be starting in place of Dessers, he'd have buried all three of Dessers' sitters. Yeah, I agree with you. He would have done. That's what I said on the live stream. I said that. I said those two chances that fall to Dessers, they fall to Roof. They're in the back of the net. The first one that the keeper makes a brilliant save on. If he doesn't try and lift it over the keeper, which is what he tries to do, if he swings it and smashes it low, which Roof probably would have done, it goes in the back of the net and it makes it 2-0 to us. The other one that he missed, the one that he put into the car park, Roof turns on that and scores. I guarantee it, because Roof knows how to finish. Roof is a joke when it comes to fitness. Don't get me wrong. He's an absolute joke. Of course he is. But he gets his body over it. He flicks it round. It ends up in the back of the net. Look, I've slaughtered Dessers this year, and I've got absolute pelters for it on social media. I've had some pretty horrible comments made. I got absolutely slaughtered earlier on Rabble because of comments I made about Dessers. I'm not being funny, but you tell me a time when he scored, when it actually matters, when it actually helps Rangers, because I can't think of one. Said before the game, why is PC still playing players like Silva, Seamer, Roof, Borner? Players not going to be here next season. What is the fucking point? Says Whiskey Connoisseur. I think you can kind of see that because of last season. Kent down tools once he knew he was leaving. Morelos down tools once he knew he was leaving. The only player who didn't, well, only two players who didn't down tools when they knew they were leaving last season was Alan McGregor, but Alan obviously then got dropped in the end here for Robbie McCrory, and was Scotty Arfield, because Scotty never did down tools. I really would love to see Scotty back. I'd love Scotty back. I mean, could you imagine Scotty coming on today? He would have scored. Guarantee it. Kevin, I agree. His subs are coming on too late. Absolutely. Butland was more of an attacking threat than Dessers. He was. What else have we got? Tav and Goldson are above everyone at the club, in my opinion. It does look like that, Stephen, to some extent. It does look like Tav and Goldson are just kind of, they don't need to, they just are above everyone at the club, and that they can do what they want, and they can be as shit as they want, and they'll always get picked. And I'm fed up of the Tav defenders saying, yeah, but look at the goals he scores. Look at the goals he scores. Well, he scored a penalty. And so what? You telling me that Cantwell can't take a penalty? You're telling me that Seamer can't take a penalty? Both of those guys would bury that penalty today. Guarantee it. Rufy's up at the end of the season. He ain't going to put a shift in. He's thinking about his next move. Possible. What about keeping Tav, putting him in midfield instead? There's no denying he's a great player on his day, but defensive liability, I feel like we will struggle with that. His attacking, though, says James. Yeah, but his delivery today was awful. I mean, his set-piece delivery was absolutely shocking today, from corners, from free kicks. He put one good cross in, which is the one that Seaman stoops the header, and the goalie claws it away. That was it. That was it. That was it. That is a rumour that is going round that Butland wants to go to the Premier League. I can see Rangers selling him. I really can see Rangers selling him for 20, 25 million in the summer. Especially if we don't qualify for the Champions League. It sort of buffers the loss of that money, doesn't it, a little bit? Of course it does. Dessers needs 5 chances to score. He does. Daniel says, you've got issues when Jack Butland was our most dangerous player from a corner. I think he's the only player that actually put a county player on the deck. Agreed. Scotty's goals with the sheep last couple of minutes to win 3-2. Oh, Scotty, I salute you, Scotty. I salute you. This club is too clingy to players, which shows lazy recruitment. Stringfellow Hawk, that's a brilliant point. I mean, I think it's been levelled at Rangers an awful lot that we do hang on to players for far too long. Far too long, don't we? Genuinely do. Hang on to players for far too long. And it's not good. It's not good at all. And we need to move players on quicker. And we need to not let them run their contracts down. Agreed with you on that one. I have to wonder what hold Tav and Goldson have over the dressing room, that no manager will drop them. That's a great point. Is there a fear there that managers fear that Tav and Goldson have such a control over the dressing? They will. Good question. Good question. No team has won the league with 6 losses. It's gone. I hope Big Phil get them a stinking in the way down the A9. Me too. If Roof is going to play, then Seaman will need to play central. I've had enough of Dessers, says Scott B. Agreed. I don't know why Seaman is not playing down the middle. Seaman's a great finisher, a brilliant finisher. He's probably the second best finisher after Roof at the club. So I don't know why you wouldn't give him the opportunity to play down the middle. Dessers, like it or not, is the best striker at the club. Without his goals, we wouldn't be near Celtic. Wake up, loads of strikers have bad days. Yeah, there's having bad days, and then there's missing sitters, buddy. Overprotection of Roof is getting ridiculous. It's entirely hanging by a thread. Gareth says, whiskey, no offence, mate, but come on, how many chances per game does he get and not convert? Absolutely. Speaking of Arfield, that reminds me of his goal v Liverpool. Had a good time for 5 minutes before they equalised. Yeah, I remember that one. And one of my youngest daughter's a Liverpool fan as well. Invincibles became untouchables, now unsellable. That's a good one, buddy. That's a good one. The balance is wrong. We need a strong squad with some experience, freshness added each season. Agreed. 25 million. Come on, lad. No one pays that amount to a Scottish club. Didn't they pay 20 million? How much did Celtic get for Jota? Wasn't that over 20 million? Title's over. We have blew it. I would not be worried if Butland goes. Fabulous. Buy 20 million. Could go a long way in this league. Absolutely, it could. 100%. 3 of the back 4 was 1920. Exactly. It is. Sharpie, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, it is. It is ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, look, the defence needs a huge overhaul. We know that. Look, the defence does need a huge 25 million Jota went for. Yeah, so why would no one pay 20 million or 25 million for Butland? I don't get it. 199 people watching, over 200 people watching tonight, guys. Please smash that sub. Guys, get your opinions in, get your thoughts, get your comments in about the game today and about our future. Look, I'm going to put this out there. Look, what really worries me. Here we go. People disproving that. 20 million for Bassey, 25 million for Tierney. Absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, one thing that does concern me going forward is, yes, is number one, we've got to beat Dundee on Wednesday. And I would make big changes for that game. I really would make changes. That is a great shout from Stephen, and God bless him. Thoughts and prayers with Fernando Rickson, obviously, who, God rest his soul. Absolutely. Yeah. Again, we need to clear out. Will the board ever learn? Absolutely. Robert Robertson says, I'm sick of these wankers. I've just literally watched a sparrowhawk take out and eat a pigeon on my back garden. I thought it was rock canted. Funny. Butland is too old to go for 20 million for a second-rate goalkeeper. Rubbish, Craig. Absolute rubbish. Because goalkeepers don't mature till they're about 30 anyway. So that's rubbish. Listen, Celtic will drop points. I fear we have known it, but they will have to go to Hart and Killy. I'm going to go all Kevin Keegan here. I'd love them to drop points. Gareth, so would I. But what worries me is us going to Parkhead. Can you honestly see us going to Parkhead and winning? I can't. With this squad, I genuinely cannot see us going to Parkhead and getting anything. I really, really cannot see it. I just can't see it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be negative. I don't like being negative, but I do think that at the end of the day, I cannot, for the life of me, see us going to Parkhead and getting anything. I just don't think they've got it in them, this squad, to actually go there and get anything. I just worry about it. I do fear for it. Look, in terms of who plays on, we'll get back to your comment in a minute. In terms of who plays on Wednesday night, I'd love to see some real changes made, some real genuine changes pushed into this team to give this team a bit of impetus and to try and get some life out of this team. And I think big changes need to be made, personally. I do think big changes do need to be made. I mean, personally, I would go with this team. I'm going to bring the team on screen that I would go with. I'd love to get your opinions on it. So let me know what you think. This is the team I would go with against Dundee on Wednesday. So my team is Butland in goal, back foot. Look, Tav ain't going to get dropped. As much as we might want him to do, he ain't going to get dropped. So Tav, Suter, Balogun, Ridvan if he's fit. That's a big if Ridvan is fit. Hopefully he is. I think we've really missed Ridvan, his quality down the left. His ability to get past people, to get up and support the attack. Then I'd like to see Sterling and Raskin in midfield. I think we need to start giving Raskin some match time. John Lundstrom is knackered. Jack is injured. Dow doesn't look up to it. Lawrence is out of form. Sterling's our best midfielder, so he plays as the holder. And then give Raskin the 8 role. Raskin plays 8 for Belgium under 21s. He looks good in the 8 role. Give him the 8 role. Let him get forward. Let him go box to box. Let him use his range of passing. Then I'm going to go McCausland on the right, Cantwell in the middle. That's the other one. I thought Cantwell did well today. Cantwell gets a pass mark for me today. Matondo on the left and Seema up top. That's my team for Wednesday. I don't think that's a team that he will pick, but that's my team for Wednesday. I really do think that would help, I think, massively. Change it. We've got to make some changes. Absolutely got to make some changes here, 100%. Rangers are losing this league. Celtic's going to be dominant for the rest of the season, says Sam. I think there's a good chance that happens. How many goals has Roof Seema got together as much as Dessers? Tav is the only one near, there with pens included, just saying. Seema's got 16 goals this season, mate. Dessers has got 17. And Seema's been out injured for a lot of the season. So there you go. Yeah, so the goals this season, let me just tell you this. This is a fact. So before you, I don't think that's particularly right, buddy. Abdallah Sima has scored 14, 15, 16 goals this season in less games, and it's taken Dessus to score 17. And Roof has got, Kimar Roof has got how many goals this season? Roof has got two goals this season. So they've got 18 goals between them, but Seema's got 16 in less games than Dessus has got 17. We need some serious investment as of right now. We're just getting by with the current board. I mean, the worry of me, John, on that one is the fact that Philippe Clement mentioned that he'd actually had to borrow some of the summer money to buy the players this January, which kind of worries me given the fact that at the AGM, John Bennett says we'll give money to back Clement. Well, where's the money gone? Where has that money gone, John Bennett? Because you said at the AGM, we will back our manager in the transfer market in January. Well, did you? Well, because Clement's giving a different picture of that. He's had to borrow from the summer to get players. So that gives a different message. So what is the truth, John Bennett? What is the truth? What's the odds on Tav Golson and Lunny seeing off Clement? Possibly quite high, buddy. Bit concerned. Celtic seems to be improving. Did you see Tav's watch in the post-match? It would take a good few seasons books to buy one of them. Absolutely. Celtic will run over us as players scared of Celtic. They are scared of Celtic. Said it last week, we needed to win at home for the mentality of the title run. This is one of the things that I said in the video that I did at the start of the week, start of Old Firm week. I talked about it not being a physical battle, it being a mental battle as well. And we had to win the mental battle. And we lost the mental battle. We lost the mental battle. And look, drawing 3-3 with them at home and celebrating at the end was a joke. It was an utter joke. Absolute joke. Do a win there, just like RC would do a win law of averages. Kevin, I hope so, buddy. I really do hope so. Robert says our league died today. They're all stealing a wage. This game for Wednesday night, the team is going to go to Dundee and draw. There's no fight left. Interesting comment there. Sharpie says there is still a chance to win all our games, win the title, though we will need to be at our absolute best at the piggery, but it wouldn't surprise me if we drop more points before that. I was listening to Club at 22 earlier, actually, when I was out walking the dog. I love Club at 22. Club at 22 for me is the best Rangers podcast out there. It is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely superb podcast. Love Ali, love Scott. They're fantastic. And they said, actually, they didn't think Rangers would go the rest of the season without dropping points. So, yeah, I can't see us not dropping points. If the match is postponed, it keeps us in for another week. I think if it gets postponed, it's going to get moved to McDiarmid Park, Alex, is what I'm hearing. As we were asking on the bench, that he was on the bench today. RFC72, hey, buddy, how you doing? Good to have you here. Time for Lunny and Goldson to be dropped for Balogun and Sterling in midfield alongside Raskin. Yeah, I agree. We should be dropping Goldson. Absolutely agree with you, 100%. Even if we lose the league, yes, we will lose the UEFA Champions League money, but we could go through qualifiers. It will also show the board that we aren't good enough if we win the league. I see the board not fixing the team. That's a good point from James, but it's just them, isn't it? Stop talking about Tav's fucking goals. Fuck's sake, we've won practically fuck all with his fucking goals. Agreed. Look, mate, I've criticised Tav. You go back and watch some of the videos and look at the hammering I took for it. No to Raskin, he's been piss poor all season. Play Lawrence in central midfield alongside Sterling. Yeah, but Lawrence has been piss poor in the last few games. Worried Celtic played with Hatate, Scales, Maeda, all carrying knocks. I'll just come back and we couldn't beat them. No chance at their park. All Lundstrom wanted to do was go back the way today. Tav was in no man's land at times. He was. I mean, you watch the second goal. I think it's the second goal. Their player completely outruns him. Agreed. Roof has only got 1 or 2. Yeah, he's got 2 goals this season. Seema's got 16. Only way to win the league is 6 victories, in my opinion. You're right. A draw is not good enough. It needs to be 6 wins. It does need to be 6 wins. So, yeah, I agree with you. I'm just going to quickly clarify that Abdallah Seema stats. So he's played 27, 33, 36 games, 16 goals. So let's put that down. Seema, 36 games, 16 goals. And then we'll put Dessus down. I'm just going to get his stats. If you just bear with me a minute, guys. We'll get back to your comments and your thoughts in a minute. Obviously, all the guys are busy today. That's the problem. I was going to get Lorah on, but obviously, like I said, son's not well at the moment. Wishing Kai all the very best. 20, 36, 40, 44. Dessus, 44 games, 17 goals. I think that's right. Let me just check his goals. 13, 14, 15, 16. No, 16. Who got 17? So they said 16 goals. So there you go. There's the comparison. There's the comparison. So Seema has scored 36 goals in 16 games from the wing and missed a lot of games. Dessers has played over 40 games and scored 16 goals. Okay. We'll not get a draw at Septic. Raskin has spat the dummy. Phil don't fancy him. If I was Dessers, I would have scored 40. Dessers should have scored more by now. Chris Boyd was making this point earlier, as was Mutton. Same thing with Mutton. Trouble is with the team, they could beat Celtic and then go out next week and get beat. Yeah, probably true. They have two strikers who score in all firm games. We have Dessers. I think talking about I think RFC is talking about Septic. Dessers' dad, how the hell he hit the target. They couldn't back him in January because of FFP. He'll be back in the summer. Apparently, we weren't at risk of FFP. I don't know, get it. Bennett is only getting excited about trimming 120,000 off the wage per week. All of this talk about heart and fight, could it not just go, they're not good enough? Could well be it, but it could well be it. Mrs. has nice hair. Who's Mrs. has nice hair, buddy? Goldson should have been dropped weeks ago, but he hit a bullet heading into his own net, for fuck's sake. Agreed. Septic looking like me at 56 before. I didn't mean you. I meant the chat. Sorry, no worries, Robert. Sorry, mate. Thought you were someone I know. Hit the like. Thank you very much, Cabby. We've got acoustic gymnastics in the live chat. I've been saying for years that a striker should have been scoring goals that Tav gets for us. I agree, he should be, but where is that striker? Where is that striker, guys? Where is that striker? Don't know where he is. Hello to John. How you doing, buddy? League was dead last week. It wasn't good enough last week, was it? Wasn't good enough at all. When the post-split fixtures get announced, I fear they'll send us to Rugby Park again, Piggery and Tynecastle, says Alan. Every chance, buddy, every chance. We know how much the SFA hate us. Dessers couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. Agreed. Goals. Scott Kearney says the goals we lost were shocking. Scott, they were awful, buddy. They were absolutely dreadful. Absolutely awful. I mean, the defending was just all over the place. The 3 goals that we gave up were just shocking. Is that Scott from Club at 22? Is that you, Scott? Yeah, I agree. The goals we gave away were appalling. And what pissed me off even more was the fact that Butland on 2 of them makes a great save and no one follows in. Contrast that with Ross County. They're throwing themselves in the way. They're blocking. They're tackling. They're fighting. They're battling for every ball. We just couldn't give a bollocks. Robert Rankin says, can we beat Hearts in the semi? That's a brilliant question. Look, if we play like we did again today against Hearts on 21st, we'll get hammered. Hearts will slaughter us with Vargas and Shankland. They will beat us if we play like that against them. We've got to up our game against them. Shankland will score against us. They're bang up. You know what I think you've got to remember, guys, is they are bang up for this, Hearts. Absolutely bang up for this game. You know, they want to win against us. They want to get revenge on us, mainly especially for the mat on the crest thing, which is ridiculous. But there we go. I'm good, mate. I'm good. Defense. Defender is our top scorer. Says it all. Absolutely. Where is Seema going to be next season? That's my point. Butland's money is already spent on January transfers. PC said he used most of it in the summer cash. Hand to mouth again. Unreal. Seema, we've got to find the money for Seema somehow. We need to get Seema back in this summer. We definitely do. Absolutely. Mentality of this team is so poor. When we went behind, every player's heads just dropped and they gave up. Not one stood tall, grew a pair of balls, and had to go. The other players were too soft. This is the thing. We could do with a captain, a real captain on the pitch who, when things get shit, when things go wrong, gets in people's faces, rattles chains, shakes people by the shoulders, has a go, fights, battles. And none of our players do that. None of our leaders, our senior players do that. Lunny doesn't, Tav doesn't, Goldson doesn't. None of those players get in people's faces when we need him to. We need a Souness type. We need a Herlock type. We need we need someone like almost like I know he's a dirty septic scumbag, but Roy Keane was like that. Patrick Vieira, someone of that mentality. Scott Kelly says, no way should Lundstrom get a new contract. Absolutely, 100% agree with you. No, John, you didn't have to be outstanding to beat us today. We definitely didn't have to be. No, I agree with you. He's gone right off again. He's really dropped off. And if the truth is that he is asking for 30 grand a week, he can do one. Ross County had one player who played for Salford City and another player who played for Morecambe. That just says it all, doesn't it? And I'd love to see what the comparative wage bill or what the comparative wage bill and squad value is of the two squads. I really would love to see that. Let's have a quick look, shall we? Rangers squad value. Let's have a look. Rangers FC transfer market is the best place to look for this. So Rangers current squad value, according to transfer market, and they are conservative on this, is £108 million. Okay, so just remember that Rangers current squad value is £108 million. Okay, let's have a look at what Ross County's is, shall we? Ross County on transfer market. Ross County's current squad value is £8.15 million. So our squad is over £100 million worth more than £100 million of their squad, and they absolutely outplayed us today. Seriously question whether Clement is the man to take us forward. He didn't even shake the Ross County manager's hand at the end. He did come back out sharply and shake it. So disappointed today. Seen enough for Dessers, to be honest, thinking he'll get it together, but it's not happening. Should have signed the striker in January. We should have signed the striker in January. If we bought Shanklin instead of Dessers, thanks, Beale. Gareth says, can we stop this? He didn't shake his hand, Patter. He did. The county manager even came out and said he spent 10 minutes with him. Give it a rest. Agreed. Gareth agreed. Butland will be off at the end of the season. Wouldn't blame him. Unfortunately, Danilo got injured, as you don't know whether he's good or bad he is. Kevin, that's a good point. You don't know how good or bad he would have been. You know, he hasn't had a run in the team, has he? He has not had that run in the team. So, yeah, we don't know, do we, how good he could have been. So, yeah, absolutely agree with you. Face it, use the way to get absolutely another Celtic fan. Why? How are all these Celtic fans getting through the thing, guys? Any mods watching, please delete. The shirt looked too heavy for many today. No bottle show all day. You are spot on, absolutely spot on. Scott Kearney says might have to sell Butland to finance new transfers. I agree. It may have to be the case that we have to raise money for sales, particularly if we want Thema back, if we want to bring in a new centre back, a new right back, because I think Dujon Sterling's a better midfielder, if I'm being honest with you. Whiskey Connoisseur says Seamer's valued at 15 million and huge wages. What level really are going to get? I would say that he's not going to go for 15 million because he hasn't got that long left on his contract. 7-8 million is probably more realistic. I don't know what wages he's on or what wages he would accept. He is happy in Glasgow. He likes playing for Rangers. That could help. Gallant, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you here. Needs Seamer, probably Cortez, a new left back, a centre back, a new goalkeeper if Butler leaves, a few centre midfielders if Lundstrom and Jack and Raskin, and 2 new strikers. Where is the money going to come from? What a great question. I don't know where the money's going to come from. Really don't know what the money's going to come from. Did anyone see Balogun's face sitting on the bench? Get the new guy. Yeah, he looked absolutely pissed off. Plus county squad value £40 and a pouch of drum rolling tobacco. Yeah, well, that's a good chance, buddy. Yeah, but it was 8 million, wasn't it? 8.15 and ours is 108.8. So we're worth over 100 million more than them, and we can't get them beaten. Scott, I suppose that is the fear. It's another Malik Tillman incident, isn't it? You know, like the Malik Tillman thing, isn't it? That, you know, that Brighton could end up then putting him out to a bidding war, and he ends up going to an English Premier League club or a club in Europe for more than we can afford him for, which will be a shame because he's a good player. I really, really rate him. I really do rate him. Yeah, agreed. We need a whole new team, a new defence, a new midfield, and a new attack. Absolutely. I'll be like, I watched Stockport County beat Morecambe 2-0 on Saturday. That's the level we're at with this team. All the players that played in 55 season need to move on. There is that need. I think your players can go very, 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 very stale very quickly. I agree. Let me flick through some of your comments. When you get paid thousands a week to do nothing, you don't care about winning. Lunny wants 3 years, 30k, goals to 37k a week, to have 35k a week. It's a huge worry. You need to get rid of these big contracts and only use them on game changers who we can rely on. RT70, that's a great point, is that if that's the case, that is shocking. If he wants 3 years, 30 grand, he can get stuffed. He really genuinely can. Absolutely genuinely can. It's awful. Let's have a look what else we've got. I think we picked up 4 points from the available 12. Hasn't been good, has it? It was a result waiting to happen, says Scott. I agreed. £2.50 for the Rangers squad. This is good therapy. I'm starting to feel Dessus is getting a hat trick at Parkhead. Scott, have a few more whiskies. It might help. You might help, buddy. Tav, Goldson, Lunny have not been good enough. Absolutely. Victor Roberts been saying it all along. We're pish. Hey, Victor, new name in the live chat. James, I wonder if Trabzon Sport actually watches him play off. They just use him on FIFA. Good question. Can anyone tell me why Tav is in the Hall of Fame? That's a good question because he scores lots of goals. I suppose is the only reason why he's probably in the Hall of Fame. Realistically, I don't know. It's not good. Look, guys, it's a sad night. It's a terrible night. It's not looking good at all, isn't it? I mean, look, even if we win our game in hand, it's still not good enough. It still isn't good enough. And look, I honestly think after today, there is no guarantee we win our game in hand. Genuinely not. I mean, genuinely, there is no guarantee that we win our game in hand. It's just not going to happen, I don't think. If they play like they did today against Dundee will beat us. I mean, especially if it's on that cowfield of a pitch. I mean, this is the league table as it stands at the moment, guys. I mean, have a look at this league table. I mean, it's not great, is it? I mean, we don't particularly want to look at it. Oh, what the hell is going on with my computer? Sorry about this, guys. I'll just enlarge it for you. There you go. So when you look at that, they're on 78 points, played one more game. We're on 74. 4 points. Even if we win our game in hand, which takes us to 77, we're still a point behind them. Our goal difference is worse than theirs now. It's 5 worse than theirs now. It was better than theirs. They've scored 8 more than us. They've only conceded 3 more than us now, which is looking dodgy. Our form is not good. It is not good either. 2 out of the last 5 games, we've lost 2, drawn 1, won 2. They've lost 1, drawn 1, won 3. So you know their form is better than ours as well at this moment in play. You know, and that's not great. Just look at the money wages based on signings. It's very scary. Keep taking the tablets, red and white. It's a devastating night, says Acoustic. Rangers are peeing so much money up against the wall. They need to find a better bang for their buck. Agreed. Agree on that one. It could be worse. We could be septic fans. Agreed. Matt Gunner. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Butland, Sterling, Ridvan, Seema, Cantwell. Is all I would keep. That's a savage cut there. But yeah, absolutely 100%. I mean, there's a lot of players there that don't deserve to play for this team. Need a few players that mean as much to the club as it does to the fans. I agree with that one, Stuart. We do need players who want to play for the game. Tab came into a struggling team and helped us through the tough times. He's been a great servant. He has been. I'm not saying he hasn't been a great servant, James. I'm just saying he's past his best now. He's done. He's finished. Absolutely. Bottle merchants are back. Hopefully, Killy could take something off Septic. Sharpie, absolutely. Agree, Sharpie. Points will be dropped. You never know. The old firm should have been enough evidence to see over the cracks. We lack basics. The most infuriating thing to watch was no players challenging in the air and absolutely no desire to win a second ball. I agree. They did want it more than us. 100% wanted it more than us. Guys, 270 people watching. Please, obviously, smash that sub. Sakala had flaws, but he's better than the majority of our front players. He did, and he's doing really well at the moment, isn't he? He's playing really, really, really well. Alan Austin says, have 1 point from 9 against Celtic. Got a lesson from Ross County. They beat Dundee. We are 1 point with 6 weeks to go. 7 weeks into the season with 7 adrift. Keep the faith. I suppose there's always got to be a positive there in this. We've got to try and find the positives. I guess we'll all go absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. Sakala is playing well. Sid, hello from Toronto. People get you to a certain level, then you move on. Better caliber to take you to the next level, and we never do that. We went backwards. RFT 70, that's a good point. You do have to get a certain level player to get you to a certain level, and then another player to move to the top level, don't you? 100% on that one. 100%, buddy. Right, guys, I'm going to go and call it a night. Let's see. Hey, Janet, how you doing? Both teams will drop points, but the team will drop the most. That's the question. Get roofing, please, says Sid. How many? Yeah, absolutely. Nice one, Curry. Yeah, but I'm going to take a break now, guys. I'm going to head off. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined us for the podcast tonight. Thank you. Hopefully, I've helped get your opinions across, guys. I'm hoping to have my team back at some point together. Damien, Unkia, and Lorah. Like I said, Kai, wish you all the best, buddy. Get well soon. Guys, take care. I'll speak to you again soon here on the channel. All the very best. We managed to abolish the dirt. Hit the likes on the way out. Absolutely. Good night, all. Absolutely. Thank you very much. David, I don't care about the end scene of Planet of the Apes. Really, I don't care. Thank you very much for watching, guys. On the way out, please smash that like. And please remember always, we are the people.